I'm always excited for my monthly favorites. So here we are, my current favorites and fails. We are in the middle of summer. Well, I guess summer technically started like just a few weeks ago, but don't you feel like even as an adult, my mind, summer is June and July because that was summer when I was in school. So it still is in my mind. The fact that summer doesn't start until June, I mean, I know it really doesn't. I know it. But it's just wild because in my mind, June and July are summer and then August you start school. So summer's over, but it's really not. Anyway, boy, I got there real fast. What's up? So I do these every month. If you did not know that, maybe you are newer to my channel. I'll link my playlist if you want to check out more of my current favorites and fails. I don't think I have any fails this time around. These are all just genuine things I have absolutely been loving and I'm excited to share with you. I've got a new kind of coffee. I've got a snack. I've got new deodorant, skincare, makeup. We've got it all. Let's dive in. And I know I'm going to get questions. This is the Smashbox Always On liquid lipstick in Bang Bang. This is that kind of red that is more blue tone and it makes your teeth look white and it just... like you see it on someone across the room and you're like, ooh, I like that red. This is that kind of red. So if you've been looking for one, I didn't even use lip liner because the tip of it is just pointed enough that I was able to just kind of draw it. And this stuff does not budge. I have it. I did the old trick where you like pull your finger through and I have it all over my fingers. From doing that, I can't get it off. So it stays on. If you need like a really good long wearing red, this is the one. I'll link it below. So I wanted to take a second to thank today's video sponsor, which is Ritual. My entire family now takes a Ritual multivitamin. I love them because I love that it is a very transparent brand. If you pop onto their site, you can see what they have in their vitamins, why those different things are in there, where they're sourced from, what they're going to do for your body. I feel like in the world of vitamins, it can be really, at least for me, it's very overwhelming. And some of the things I'll look at in the multivitamin world especially, there's so many things in it. And I'm thinking, do I really need that? Do I not need that? It's just a lot. And I also don't know the quality of the ingredients that are in there that I'm taking every single day. And so when we started taking Ritual a few years ago, I felt really good about it because I felt like I could really see what in the world I was ingesting every single day. You know what I mean? So what I'm taking right now is their Essential for Women postnatal. Probably after this one, we'll go back to taking their Essential for Women multivitamin. That's what I typically take. They also have a prenatal. They have one for men that my husband's taking. They have gummies for kids. They have a teens one. They have a 50+ one. They really have something for everyone in your household, which I love because like I said, everyone in my household takes it. But it's just too easy to take capsules every single day. And with the postnatal, I'm getting 15 essential nutrients that my body needs, especially after going through having a baby and just the different demands that this time in my life that my body needs, right? And technically the postnatal period is even more nutritionally demanding of your body. And so you need even more nutrients than you did even in your prenatal. And that's why their postnatal actually has more nutrients in it than the prenatal does. Plus, their postnatal has really important ingredients like vitamin C and zinc. But again, that's why I love this brand because I feel like they really take the research and use it to support what they're actually doing with their vitamins, and that I really appreciate. I love that they use 100% recycled materials, they use plant-based ink, plus they are gluten-free, allergen-free, non-GMO, vegan-friendly, and they have no added sugar. And at the end of the day, it's really, really convenient. It's just a delivered to your door subscription every single month. We get it shipped to us. We don't have to think about it right around when we're just about to run out. It always is in our mailbox, which I love. Plus, it's really easy to pop online and edit if you need to wait a bit, if you need it sooner, if you want to add or remove things to your subscription. I've done that from time to time, and it works really, really well, and it's super easy. And they have their essential protein range. We actually use some of their protein powder in some of our green smoothies, and I really like them. You can use them like in your green smoothie, but sometimes we'll use them alone. They're meant to be like their own protein shake too. So wanted to give that a little shout out because we do actually like it and they offer it. So if you want to get 20% off your first month of Ritual, you can go to ritual.com/JB20 and use my code JB20 at checkout. I will have that link right at the top of the description box. We really do love it. It's just been one of those things that I feel really good about what we're all taking, and I don't take this kind of a decision, something I'm ingesting every day, I don't take that lightly, and so that's why I'm always excited to share about this because I really think it is an awesome company. So thank you so much, Ritual, for supporting my channel and sponsoring this portion of the video. All right, how are my lips looking? I'm trying to drink coffee and I just know I'm gonna get the little bat wings. Also, why did I drink out of the side of my mug like this? Look at that. kind of monster drinks like this? Apparently I do. All right. Let's start with makeup, as I usually do. I just have a couple of items. So this was a new launch, and it's amazing. It's the bronzer I'm wearing today. This is from L'Oreal. It's their infallible bronzer. I really think, and this was smart of them if this is the case, but my theory on this is they took their exact powder foundation formula and just made it into more bronzer shades for various skin tones and marketed it as a bronzer. And quite frankly, that's genius, because a lot of us will just get like a darker powder shade in a range and use that as a bronzer. But the reason I think it's genius is because it adds coverage. Think about a powder foundation. It has that coverage that, well, like for me, that's what I like about it. I feel like this has coverage. So when I'm kind of putting it in those areas, it just looks smooth and it's not lifting up the foundation. And even if it did, you wouldn't be able to tell because it's just kind of evening things out. It's a good one. If you can get your hands on a shade that works for you, I'm telling you, this is one of the better bronzers I've tried in a very long time. I have so enjoyed using this the past few weeks. So this is the shade 200, and that works really well for my skin tone if you were curious, but really big fan. It has a mirror there on the bottom. Did it have like a brush or a sponge with it? I don't know that it did because I don't remember it ever falling out, but anyway, big fan. I'm just elated. I don't know why more bronzers don't have more like coverage, because if you really think about it, like if you apply bronzer the way I do, it's covering a lot of my face. So bonus points when it can make my skin just look better and not patchy or anything. So I love that it's super creamy, not patchy, and adds that coverage. I'm always so excited to find a good bronzer. And I feel like bronzer can be so hard because sometimes, like me, I don't apply it to very specific areas. I'm really just kind of rough and tumble with it. And the fact that it can still look really nice, thank you, L'Oreal. Thank you. If you recall, it was a few months ago, I did like a new makeup releases chat, and I call those anti-haul wish lists. I might change the name of those because I think the name sometimes turns people off that might otherwise want to watch it if I called it something like new makeup chat or something. I don't know. Let me know your thoughts, because I feel like anti-haul and wish list hardly is really what I'm doing anymore, because usually we're just chatting about it. I'm not really deciding whether I'm buying it or not. So let me know your thoughts on if I just switch up the title of that whole series, because I do that like every 6 weeks-ish. Anyways, in one of those videos, I talked about these and I'm like, I don't know, it sounds like just another blush. And I always put my foot in my mouth because this blush is truly, quickly, one of my favorite blushes. Like it quickly became. It's what I'm wearing today. It applies so evenly and so beautifully. And you don't really have to think about it. I didn't even tell you what it is. It's the Laura Mercier Tinted Moisturizer Blush in the shade Provence. I love it. So literally all I did today was I got honestly a bunch on my finger and just put it all over, so it was just like a whole swath of it. And then I wiped that off, tapped it in some more, wiped that off, and then tapped it in the rest of the way. And it just gives this perfect, I think, amount of color. And it just like, I love the way my cheeks look right now. And I don't feel like it moves around. I didn't put powder on top of this. It just is perfect, you guys. I am just feeling very happy about the grouping of products that I've recently found. And these, I'm wearing both these today. I think they look beautiful together. But I also have a highlighter on that I'm going to share in a sec. And I feel like the three of these together is beautiful. We're going to Disney here in a few weeks. Well, depending on when you're watching this. But anyway, very soon. And I'm already like mentally like, what am I going to bring? It's really hot there. Very, very humid. What am I going to wear that will actually kind of stay? And I am pretty sure I'm going to bring this bronzer, and I'm probably going to bring this because I feel like it stays. We'll have to put it to the test, I guess. So the highlighter I'm wearing with this is from Flower Beauty. This is around $10, $12 if I'm remembering right. It's their Spotlight Liquid Highlighter. I have it in the shade Opal. This keeps going back in stock, then going out of stock. Everyone buys it, and then it goes out of stock. And anyway, this is definitely a dupe for the Charlotte Tilbury one that looks just like this, that I love. And I almost wore today, but I was like, this looks exactly the same. It's what I'm wearing, and I just think it catches the light beautifully. It doesn't look weird in the summer sun. You know how some products do. This one doesn't. It just looks pretty. I like it on my brow bone too, so I usually just squeeze a little bit up on the thing and tap it on with my finger. It's just beautiful. It really is. And this is one of the things too, here, I'll do it, because this, One of my friends makes fun of me because anytime my like clavicle is showing, they're like, "Did you put the highlighter on?" I'm like, "Yeah, I did." This is the kind of product that looks so pretty on your clavicle. This is like one of those tricks you learn from celebrities in a random video and then you never forget. Like, isn't that pretty? So yeah, it's one of those products, especially like to travel with. It's so perfect, but I just love it there. So last makeup specific item, and then we got a bunch of other stuff, is this. I may have mentioned this in the past, but I was like, no, I feel like I talk about it all the time. And then I thought about it, I'm like, I don't think I've talked about it very much at all. This is from Bare Minerals. It's their original mineral veil. It's in sheer light. That's just the shade I use. They have one that's white that's supposedly translucent. I like that one too, but I like the one with a little bit of color better. And they have a lot of colors, so you can definitely find one for your skin tone. This, I don't put all over the face. I actually don't really love it all over the face. This is one of those under eye powders that is so good. I have not used this in a while because I just feel like not only does it set that area and prevent the creasing, and it actually prevents creasing, but it evens things out. I feel like my under eyes look better than they usually do when I'm using this. And so that's why like I said, I haven't not used this in a while, and I'm definitely going to be bringing this with me to Disney. And even though it's pricier, I mean, it's Bare Minerals, so it's probably, I want to say, like near $30, maybe upper 20s. I feel like this is one of those things, especially if you're only using it for your under eye, you are going to have this for years. It's going to take you a long time to go through, and it is wonderful. I want to talk about this deodorant, and I have some thoughts and feelings, and I've dropped it like 3 times, so I have cracks. I have cracks in the lid. This is from the Method brand. So it's the Method Body aluminum-free deodorant, but it's the coconut, rice milk, and shea butter scent, specifically. My favorite thing about this is the scent. It smells like a real vanilla, like warm, but it smells good. It smells very good. And I'm weirdly picky. Like, I don't like a powdery deodorant smell. I don't like, I'm just picky. But I've been using the men deodorant from Old Spice, like a lot of us use because it smells really good. But I was like, I'm going to try something new. I've been using the same one for years. I keep repurchasing. So I saw this and bought it. It's definitely a different texture. It is kind of melty. I don't mind that. Here's the thing. The caveat you have to know is because this is not an antiperspirant, it's just a deodorant, it's not going to stop sweat. It's just not. I don't mind that. I've kind of moved away from antiperspirant because honestly, I would get like weird reactions with it. And when I switched over to just using deodorants without the like anti-sweating formula, I didn't notice it as bad. I wasn't getting bumps under there and redness. So anyway, beyond that, this just smells so good, but you have to know that because it is, I don't know if it's necessarily more natural or not, you're going to have to reapply it halfway through the day, especially in the summer. In the winter, I think I could apply it in the morning and be good. But like halfway through the day, I have to reapply. For me, that's not a deal breaker, especially considering I love the smell so much and it's not making my underarms react or do anything weird. So I'm probably going to buy this again, but just knowing, like I said, it's just not going to be that deodorant that just lasts forever and ever and ever. Because I almost didn't mention it because I was like, well, but it doesn't last all day. But I'm like, but I still really like it. And so if that's not a deal breaker for you, you might really, really like it. Go smell it. It smells so good. I don't even know what it is about this product that I love. And I should probably make sure I didn't already mention this in last month's favorites. Hold on. This is the Ole Henriksen Strength Trainer Peptide Boost moisturizer. I bought this literally because I loved the color purple. I hadn't tried anything from Ole Henriksen in a while and I needed a new moisturizer. All pretty decent reasons for buying it, but then I ended up loving it. The weird thing about me loving this is it's more of a gel-like moisturizer than I typically would go for. I mean, it's still creamy, but it's not the same as most of the moisturizers I already know and love. But there's something about the way my skin reacts to it. I feel like my skin's a little more even than it has been. It's definitely more moisturized, and I've been using this pretty much every single night, and in the morning, I just feel like my skin looks good. I just do. And so I'm a fan. I'll probably repurchase this when I go through it, but wanted to mention it. I want to say I saw Tati use this in a video and she loved it or something like that. And I'm like, yeah, it really is nice. So wanted to give this a shout out if you're in the market for a new, really nice moisturizer, because I have really been enjoying this, and it's expensive, but I would buy it again. I bought this with my own money and it's good. I feel like a lot of Ole Henriksen products have like a really strong smell. This one has a light scent, but it's nothing. Maybe it doesn't even have a smell. Like, because If it does, it's very, very light. So I like it. Did you guys ever play the game Cranium? That is like the most specific random game, but I don't even know if it still exists, but in it, there was like different things you'd have to do, and in it had like this purple Play-Doh. And that Play-Doh smelled so good to me, and this reminds me of that. I'm sure 95% of you have no idea what I'm talking about, but anyway. Okay, this is something that I thought, I'm like, gosh, I can't believe I've never heard of it. And the second I started loving it, I started seeing it everywhere, and I'm like, oh wait, I think people already knew about it. I am late to the party, as usual. This is from the brand Versed. It's their Guards Up Daily Mineral Sunscreen. This is just good. I mentioned it, I want to say, in a vlog recently, and I thought it was tinted when I first squirted it out, just based on the color. It's really not. It's just got a beige tone to it, but it completely blends away. But that means it doesn't give you that white cast, at least not on my skin tone. I think I asked in the other video too, but if you have a deeper skin tone and you've used this, let me know. Does it leave like a lighter cast, or does it blend into your skin? It has no smell. It doesn't smell like sunscreen. It really easily pairs with makeup. Like, it doesn't pill up or anything. The only thing I've noticed with this, the only con, is that if I'm not careful about getting too much like in my brows, I'll like a few minutes later be like, oh, and it'll just be kind of like crusted up in there, and I'll just kind of wipe it away, and it'll wipe right away. But just one of those things that I feel like I don't notice that with every sunscreen, but I definitely do with this. But I'm always weird about, I want sunscreen there because I have burned there before, and it doesn't feel good. Anyway, but it's SPF of 35. It is 15% zinc oxide. I just really like it. It's easy to use. It doesn't have an offensive smell. It doesn't have a white cast. It works well with makeup. And I want to look up the price of this. I actually have a smaller version of this too, like for travel. Yeah, because this is the 2.5 fluid ounce. So for the 1.7, it's $21 at Target. Versed is one of those brands that they're kind of a lower mid-range price-wise, which is kind of nice because I just feel like so much skincare. I mean, yes, I like a more expensive skincare, but especially with something like sunscreen that I go through kind of quickly, it's nice to not have to spend an arm and a leg on it. And I've tried some very expensive SPFs that I just did not like. There was one from Tatcha that was very expensive, and I bought on a whim at Sephora a few years ago, and it pilled up so badly under makeup. I couldn't believe it. I was like, this is like the worst. And you guys know there's a lot from Tatcha I love, but I hated that sunscreen. So big fan if you need one. I've even been taking this down my neck and here because I'm trying to be better about, if I'm gonna apply sunscreen every day to my face, I really need to be good about putting it on my neck and chest because I'm very prone to skin cancer and just sun damage and freckles and moles and all that stuff. So just, that's something that's like always exposed. So it's nice to have that covered too. And this works really well in that way too. So big fan. All right, just some fun favorites. Go to your local grocery store. I'm betting they have it because we just bought this at our local superstore, Meijer, that we love. It's from the Blue Diamond brand. It's their habanero barbecue almonds. I know, I lost some of you. Come back because I really don't love barbecue flavored things. I don't like spicy things. Like, I am such a baby. Out of all my friends, I'm the one that's like, no spice, please. Like, I'll get a pad thai and I'm like, mild, thanks. Thank you so much. Anyway, this tastes so good. I don't even know how to like describe the taste because I would never name this flavor habanero barbecue. I don't think it tastes like either of those things. But it just has this absolutely addictive, like you put 2 in your mouth and you're like, and I'm going to be eating the whole bag. Thank you so much. It's so good. So if you just want something different in your snack area of your house or to bring with you to lunch, get these. You'll thank me later. They're so good. I even sent like a snap of this to some of my friends. I'm like, y'all run out to the store and get it. They're so good. So highly recommend. And I feel a little less guilty them being almonds versus like barbecue chips or something like that, but they give you that like vibe, barbecue chip vibe. So I guess in that way, I do like barbecue because I do like barbecue chips. All right, this if you have a Keurig. So little quick story time here. We had a Nespresso and we gave it to our best friends because, okay, when I was pregnant, I started to detest the taste of Nespresso. And it is a very different taste than regular coffee or Keurig coffee or any of that. Very different. And I loved it the first like year or 2 that we had that thing. Then I, during pregnancy, could not stomach it. And it got to the point where even if he brewed it, I couldn't smell it. It made me sick. So I thought, okay, after pregnancy, like I'll be back to it. And no, I still don't like it. So I was like, you know what? I really miss having a Keurig here. Let's just get one of those. We'll pass this on to someone that'll use it, and they totally, I think they still use it. I should ask them. Now we have a Keurig again, and I actually did miss it. So I discovered that they have these K-Cups. It's the Green Mountain brand, but it's their brew over ice K-Cups. We brew I almost said hodl of coffee. That's what Tyler always calls it, but it is. We brew like a normal pot of coffee every morning. I usually drink like a cup or two from it. Tyler drinks all the rest. Don't judge him. I know. Anyway, but a lot of times that's not totally true, because a lot of times we'll have leftover and we'll save that for iced coffee. I promise I'm getting to this product. I'm like taking forever. Well, in the afternoons, I like to switch to iced coffee, and so this has been amazing. There's some kind of magic in this that it will hold up better to ice. And I think that's literally the wording on the box, but it does. It doesn't melt the ice the same way, even though it's hot. Like, I don't know what it is, but it works better than just a regular K-Cup. So we've been liking these. We enjoy like one each. I did buy the vanilla caramel. Actually, it was an accident because we were getting grocery delivery, and it's not very good. And it's weird because I actually like vanilla and caramel, and I like flavored coffee, but that one I don't like. We've got to finish them. We've got them, so I'm gonna have to just grin and bear it. But yeah, I'll brew this over ice, and then I add some half and half. It is the perfect afternoon iced coffee. It still tastes strong, which was a big thing for me, so love it. So, book favorite. I wasn't sure if I wanted to mention it. I'm almost done with it. I'm reading, it's a Brene Brown book, and it is the first Brene Brown. Am I saying her name right? It just sounded weird coming out. Now I want brownies. Okay, hold it together, Jess. We might be making brownies. Doesn't that sound really good? It's her book called, I knew I'd forget the name, hold on. Okay, grab my Kindle. Atlas of the Heart. To be honest, I dove into this without really reading the synopsis, and I think if I'd read the synopsis, I wouldn't have ended up reading it, because it's all about basically defining all of the different emotions that humans experience. It is very interesting, but it's kind of one of those that I'm like, out of all of her books, I think it would not have been the first one I chose. It was just her newest one. So I was like, I'm going to start there. So if you have a Brene Brown book that you just feel like, oh my gosh, if you only read one, this would be it, let me know. And if a lot of you guys recommend the same one, that's what I'm going to do the next time I read one of hers, because every time I'll read some of her writing or hear in a video, I'm like, yes, like, so that's why I wanted to read one of her books. Okay. But it is interesting because she kind of talks about all of the emotions we feel, and it somehow is, you feel more like you're in control of your emotions when you're able to very specifically name what you're feeling. And I know that sounds kind of like weird, but if you read it, it makes a little more sense. Like, there's a difference between guilt and shame and, you know, I can't think of any other words that kind of seem similar. Like, she was talking about the difference between joy and happiness and gratitude and how they intertwine. And it's just been very interesting. Like I said, I don't think it would be, if I read all of her books, I don't think it would be like the number one I would recommend, but it is very interesting if you're kind of into that. And it's definitely, you know, there's some stuff going on in our family, and it's been helpful to be able to put names to certain things that I think we, like Tyler and I, are feeling about what these certain things that are going on, to kind of help us make sense of things. So yeah, it's, you know, it's interesting. Gigi and I just did I just took like a screenshot of it, but we just did bubble wrap painting, where you just get a little bit of paint on the bubble wrap in whatever design you want, and then you know, press it onto paper, and it looks really cool. We were just doing that before I started filming, and it was so fun. We were doing rainbows. Another favorite for real, and this is not sponsored. They have no idea I'm mentioning this, and I don't get any kickback. Okay, I want to make that very clear. Our brooklinen sheets and our duvet cover, we love. We genuinely love. And I wanted to mention it because, you know, I do sponsored videos like this one is. I don't take sponsorships lightly, and that's why you'll see that I have a lot of like long-term contracts with brands where I mention them over and over again. I do it like either every month or whatever. Because if I find a brand I believe in, and then, you know, we develop a good relationship, then it just, to me, makes sense to be sponsored by them versus sponsored by random companies all the time, and it changes you know what I mean? Anyway, we love these sheets, you guys. They are so comfortable. And like the past few nights we've been sleeping in it, Tyler's just like, I'm like, I know, I do too. I love it too. So we're kind of excited because we have a duvet cover we got from them, and then we have another duvet cover. So our bed, because we do lighter, you know, bedding, it gets dirty a little easier. I mean, we have a toddler, we have a baby, we have a dog. So it's kind of nice to have more than one duvet cover so we can switch back and forth while one is being washed. We can put that one on. So that's also nice. But I wanted to mention it because we genuinely do love it. I'll link below the set that we have just on the regular site. And like I'd mentioned in that other video, if you do get a bundle, it's 25% cheaper, but you could just get a duvet cover, I think. You could just get sheets anyway. So yes, we do really love them. So yeah, that is another favorite. I don't really have a music favorite. Sometimes I'll mention music. Honestly, I feel like it has been such a busy month, which is a good thing. I really don't have a music favorite. We've seen a lot of concerts recently, which has been fun. We saw Josh Groban. We saw Billy Joel. That one was cool. Tyler loves Billy Joel. We're seeing Backstreet Boys soon. Actually, we might have already seen it by the time this goes up. Very excited about that because, man, that is purely my childhood. But when it was like BSB versus NSYNC, I always sided with NSYNC. I always liked NSYNC better, but I say that, but I know every single word to every single Backstreet Boys song, so I love them both. Adult me can concede that they're both really good, but as a kid, I was like, NSYNC all the way, but I'm secretly like listening to BSB. Anyway, I think that's everything. I love you guys so much. Again, thank you, Ritual, for sponsoring a portion of this video. So if you want to get 20% off your first month of Ritual, you can go to ritual.com/JB20 and use my code JB20 at checkout. I will have that link right at the top of the description box. And thank you guys. I'll see you guys in my next one. Bye.